I'm ready.
Hello, welcome everybody. We are thrilled to have Dr. Ariel Policano back with us to talk about the genius and would like to do a group like a group healing, I guess, as that was something that she mentioned. But I also wanted to um, bring up the libraries because she has created, what is it, about 1,300 libraries now with the developer. Yeah, and Kim mentioned the genius on the second hour of the review report the other day. And she was talking about, it's all about the libraries. And she's right about that. I've been using the vessel harmonizers and some other ones for neurological issues, and they've really been helping me through these bumpy times that we've had here recently. And so I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to give the platform to Dr. Ariel, and yeah, she's such a great speaker. So yeah.
Well, Kelly, it's really fun to be back with you, and I'm grateful that we can all connect, and with Liz as well, and the group. It's fun to talk about energy medicine, vibrational medicine, because we're moving into a time that I think we all knew would happen, which is going to be, it's the new earth. It's an age of light. It's an age of understanding who we are. And we are going to be able to harness all of these things about energy and frequency and free energy, and understand them at a different level. And I think the genius is part of that. And so the genius is really a tool of empowerment. It is able to reflect back to you who you are. And so you can learn a lot about yourself. And I think everybody should have some type of quantum biofeedback energetic tool. Even if you want to become, you muscle test, you pendulum, you do something so that you can check in and learn more about where you are at any given time. So that's the basis of the genius. And I'm a naturopathic doctor, a clinically trained naturopathic doctor. And I found that even with my patients, it was necessary to have some type of energetic tool to be able to peer deeper than just what they were telling me, what signs and symptoms, physical exam. I needed some type of an energy tool to help me. And that's how I got interested in this. And I originally used another type of bigger box system, and happened to become friendly with the developer about 10 years ago, the gentleman, Ryan Williams, who created this program. And I just thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing that you could put it on an iPad or an iPhone, this ability to basically have a voice and picture analysis and get all this energetic information about your body, about your emotional blockages, about just about anything that you wanted to discover or work on. And that's the premise. It's like you can hold in the palm of your hand this really cool technology. All you need is your voice in a picture, or a friend's voice and picture, and you can scan through thousands of pieces of information to discover new information. And then you can play the frequencies that are presented to you by the program in order to create more balance and to overcome some of the things going on in your life. And we've had amazing, stories over the years of people who have changed their health and changed their life and changed their outlook by using this system. So we want to be able to show it to you today and talk about it. It's probably the most meaningful to just take you through some sessions. So does anyone have something that, and if it's okay if I do this, Kelly, is there anybody on here who would like a personal scan right now and would allow us to learn more about the system by doing a scan on you? Then that's a great way for us all to learn about it. All right. So in life, Mira just said, you put her hand up and said, hey, how about me? I love it. That's
Sure.
fantastic. Yeah. And so for this to get started, what we'll need for you is your date of birth. And if you want to put that into, is there a chat going somewhere here?
Yes,
There is.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you put your date of birth into the chat, then I'm going to go ahead and put your information in here. I'm going to put it in first so that that information is not necessarily on the video. Probably doesn't matter that much. Well, and I'm going to go ahead and put your name in here at the beginning, and then I'll show it after I get to the voice area. So Kelly, do you have anything new and different that you're doing these days, or with the weather? Did you ever think about utilizing the Genius to kind of move the weather around when you're having, storms go on?
I've used it for the environment in the home
Mm-hmm.
and for the lake because I was, I've been working with water for quite some time as far as, energetics are concerned. But no, I've not really done anything. I don't think I've really played with the weather because consciously, like today, I had to go to the dump and I had a bunch of stuff I had to get rid of. It was just downpouring, and I was just like, I put it out there. I said, when we get there, just please break for me for 3 minutes. That's all I needed. It completely broke. I was able to get everything out of the truck and get the trash put to where it needed to go, and it started downpouring again. So I've always consciously kind of like played with it that way, but not with the Genius. So I'm open to learn more about that.
Hey, Dr.
Yeah.
Ariel, by the way, sorry to interrupt. Martin is asking, can it be used on a non-iPhone?
Yeah, it
Hmm.
can be used on Apple or any smartphone, so any Android or any Apple device. And we're going to take you through today how you can download it yourself to use it for 14 days. In our 14-day trial, we don't actually collect any of your payment information, so it's not like we're going to sneak up on you and charge you after 14 days. If you don't want the program, then that's totally up to you. You can just enjoy using it for 14 days as as a method of discovery. The program does start at a $1,200 price point. It's a new pricing. Minimum is $11.97. We do have payment programs and it goes up from there. So just to throw that out there, but we do have, payments that are, really low and very reasonable for people. And you can always talk to us about that as well. We have probably 15 to 20,000 users around the world as we've been growing. We're sort of in many different countries now. We're still kind of a small high touch company. You could still talk to me or even talk to the developer, and so we can help you in any way. And we have people who will do a free demonstration for you that will sit down with you on a Zoom and we'll do a free demonstration scan for you, just similar to the way that I'm going to do right now for Mira. And Mira, am I saying your name correctly? Okay, wonderful. All right, so and can I share my screen?
Yes, go ahead and try, and I'll give you permission, and I'll also give it to you over here. Go ahead and give it a try, and I'll allow you to share screen from here.
Oh, it looks
Yeah,
like it right away.
yeah, just
It's
start.
working.
Yeah,
So what I want to do is showing my screen here. I want to show the Genius on here. Now the Genius is actually on my iPad, and I'm using a piece of software to reflect it onto the screen here, which is a very inexpensive, like a $15 piece of software. And that's how a lot of our practitioners can do their meetings with their clients. But the actual balancing is going on right on my desk on my iPad Pro. Let me just see if I can show that right here. And then we're able to broadcast it. So then we've come to the page that records the voice. The voice contains a lot of information. Your voice is being studied now to be able to reveal a lot of information about your health. And if you know the company standard process, they have a program that you speak into a microphone and they do a full analysis of your heart and how your heart is working based on your voice. And your voice changes with different whether you're well or if have issues with your thyroid or things like that, then your voice does change. So the voice is listened to for this 15-second clip and it's analyzed for all types of pieces of information, the tonality, the different notes of your voice, just amazing things. And the voice scan is one of the most sophisticated voice scans. And from this, we come to understand you or sort of evaluate you as a frequency. So we come to say like you're vibrating at this particular frequency, and then we're going to compare that frequency to all the other frequencies within the program and find out your relationship to those other things that we want to test. So to record the voice, Mira, I'm going to have you say, my name is, say your name, and then we're going to say the vowels A, E, I, O, U over and over again until you see the recorder the countdown from 15 go to 0. So I would say, my name is Ariel Policano, A-E-I-O-U, 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 etc. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous. So I'm going to start recording your voice in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
My name is Mira Anicic, I-A-E-O-U, 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 I-A-E-O-U.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I just counted it down to 1 and then it went back to 15. So we've got a recording of her voice kind of listed here visually or shown here visually, and we're going to hit the next button. And now it's going to do its magic. It's going to analyze the voice and it's going to get all types of information input. And as that's happening, Mira, I guess tell us a little bit about what you would like to see change. Is there something in particular you'd like to work on or have change?
I have no idea. I'm kind of retaining lots of water and weight
Okay.
for some reason,
Okay.
and I would like to have it shed off and feel lighter.
That's a good one. That's a really good goal. All right, that's fantastic. So what I'm going to do is maybe I can take a little screenshot here. And we're going to get your picture as well. So maybe I can take a screenshot right here of you. I just don't want to get a picture of everybody else. And Mira, where are you joining us from tonight?
It's a little bit west of Toronto, Canada.
Wonderful. How's the weather there?
Oh, it was actually pretty nice today.
So you didn't have all the thunderstorms like Kelly has?
No, we were good today, but no guarantees for tomorrow.
At least is it really showing that it's spring now? You're not getting the really cold weather anymore.
No, I think we're done with that.
Have you used any energetic tools like this, or do you study anything about energy and frequency?
I actually have Spooky at home, and I used Quantum Energy Wellness Bed made by Jason Estes. And I also used something called Blue Room technology.
So you're very familiar with these types of toys.
Oh, yes.
And what has been something that you feel that why do you feel you might have benefited from some of these technologies? Is there anything in particular that it's helped you with?
Well, again, it's just to kind of feel more energetic and help with transition from carbon-based to crystalline-based body, I guess.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, just kind of be more stable, because I know that I'm one of those forerunners that will go through the process in the first wave, so might as well help ourselves, right?
Oh, I like it. All right. So when this happens, we get a readout and we have it divided into different sections. Like we can learn about the body, we can learn about the mind, and we can learn about the biofield. Oh, pardon me for 1 second. We had a little crash there, but we're going to get there. We're going to get our reflector back. Sometimes there's a lot of technology happening at one time. And also make sure this is plugged in. So there we are. Okay, so the first thing that we often do is we use the aura function. So there's an aura analysis function within the aura, and it kind of tells us what the basic starting point is. Like, is the aura, does it have lots of darker colors, browns, grays? Does it have a lot of blurriness to it? Are the rings big or small? And that's sort of a starting point for our balancing. And we can come back afterwards and we can look at this and we will see a change in the colors and in the pattern over time. So here is our colors that we have at the beginning, and it shows a lot of orange. Of course, orange is associated with the second chakra. It's very creative energy. What kind of work do you do? Are you professionally a healer?
I do have lots of healing skills, but I do that as a kind of side business. Professionally, I'm still an accountant.
Accountant. That's very sort of more left brain, but it's interesting. What comes out is a lot of creativity. A lot of creativity is coming through, and all that orange color is all related to second chakra. And then a lot of heart energy coming through on this ring. And of course, blue. It's very light though. So there might be a deficiency, but it's very light, and that's related to the fifth chakra, communication, thyroid, things like that. We can even take a little deeper dive by hiding the avatar here and looking a little bit deeper. And then we've got this sort of dark blue. But wow, there's so much orange. So there's so much. Do you do anything creative? Do you do any music or writing, or do you feel like that creativity is a side of you?
I'm actually teaching. I have groups of people. I meet with groups of people and I try to kind of push them through the right direction in a sense of who they're listening to and how do they understand what ascension is and what's happening on the planet. So that's kind of my current passion. And I work with clients. I'm like a rapid transformational therapist and coach, trained by Marissa Pierce. So I work with people and help them to clear their childhood trauma and to get out of those programs.
Oh,
And
that's fantastic.
yeah, and it's in a sense it's creative because I'm also clear cognitive and clear sentient. So my sessions are different than you would have it any other practitioner with any other practitioner. Even though we're trained by the same person, my sessions are unique and a little bit different. So my
So yeah, that
creativity.
is all about your personal creativity to make your session. So very, very good. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, so now we can go back to the system overview and we can just say, oh, that's, we can look at some things that came up, amino acids, herbs, vitamins. We might want to look at some of those electrical sensitivities. So she might be affected today by maybe some type of light. It says fluorescent, but I take that too to be LED. Now they're trying to get us to use LED everywhere, and LED is not the best thing for our eyes, for the macula, for the retina. And to say Wi-Fi, well, many of us are affected by Wi-Fi. So when it says these things, you look at it and you're like, whoa, like that's a problem. Man, I hate talking about, 5G and who knows, 6G. But the point is with this is that you can take anything that's out of balance and you can put it in a tray and balance it. So you improve your relationship to whatever that thing is. So if Wi-Fi is affecting you, we all use Wi-Fi, most of us at some point, but what if you could help to harmonize your relationship to the Wi-Fi? So anything that you see in the Genius that's a problem, you always have a way to find a solution, which is putting the imbalance into the tray and balancing it. So in that way, it's an incredibly practical tool. So it also says minerals, glands, organs. Now we can look at any of these and see if there's something in there that we want to balance. So let's take minerals. So it's saying lithium, selenium, zinc. So lithium is for good brain cognition. Selenium is for the immune system. Zinc is also for the immune system. So if we see enough of these, we might start saying, well, maybe there's something going on with the immune system. Sulfate, vanadium, silica, iron. So vanadium is for blood sugar. Sulfur is for liver detoxification. So we're going to put all of those into the tray to balance them. And any of these we can utilize, we could balance them. Something that's kind of interesting are these very low blue lines where you don't see a lot of color. And that usually is a sign of deficiency, where we're kind of having a little bit of adrenal fatigue. It's kind of showing us in the pattern that we may need to rebuild our reserves. And somebody let me know if there's any questions coming through. And if you guys want to ask questions, you're absolutely welcome to do so. A really fun thing to balance on the Genius is flower essences. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take those and we're going to read about some of the interpretations of the flower essences. It's interesting that it says the first one that comes up is rescue remedy. One of my dogs went to have his teeth cleaned today, and before he went, I gave him rescue remedy that helps to calm you down when you're having anxiety. Scleranthus is when you feel like you're of two minds and you can't make a determination. You can't decide between two things that you're two choices or two things that you have to make a decision about. It's interesting, all the little chestnuts are coming up. So go ahead.
Dr. Ariel, this is Liz. I was going to say, can you talk about the color grading? Because you have red, and then is red is the strongest, and then blue is the next. Can you go over the coding?
Yes, yes,
I
absolutely. Yeah.
missed it last time. Yeah. Thank
No,
you.
yeah, and yeah, thank you. And please, like ask those basic questions, because everybody will definitely be wondering this too. So the colors on here are red, yellow, green, and blue. The weird kind of thing to learn about the genius is it shows us what's called reactivity. And reactivity means something that you're out of balance. You want to create more harmony with that particular thing. Or the reactivity could also be associated with remedies that might be beneficial for you. Reactivity on the genius is represented by anything that's red or blue. So if it's red or it's blue, it means that is something that is of interest to your energy field today. If it's yellow or green, you kind of ignore it. It means it's in balance. It's not kind of a preferred frequency for today. All the reds and blues in the genius are a way of saying like these would be the most beneficial things for you to run for yourself today. And we can also then, beyond running the information, we could look at the information as a hint to help us in our personal development. Now, red is going to be indicating, yes, it's a preferred frequency, it's a frequency that you need, but also it is telling us that this is probably something that is acute or it's on the surface. I guess a better panel to look at would be more like today's stress. So let's look at that one. So just like I said in the little patterns today where we saw just a little bit of blue filled in, it told me something about deficiency. And so, yeah, there's a little bit of adrenal fatigue, or there possibly is. At least there's something going on with the adrenals. There may be some type of heavy metal toxicity. Could have been in the air, it could have been in the fish, it could be in the teeth because of mercury fillings, something you had in the past. And something is activating the immune system and something is affecting blood sugar. Then we can go down here. There might be some pathogens. A lot of people have like Epstein-Barr that they don't know about. So it could be something like that. Fungus, connective tissue, cardiovascular infection, acidity. So we might be more acid than we want to be, and that would create a terrain where we might have more infections. So now to go back to the reds and the blues, we just talked about what the reactive items are in today's stress. The reds here, they're more acute. They're not as deep. So they're sort of like the idea of heat. Was there a question?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
How can we know that we have Epstein-Barr? Like, are there like indicators there that would?
Now remember, none of this is a diagnosis. It's all like a muscle test. So it can't be considered to be more than that, but there actually is a way that you can test for it very specifically, like a muscle test. So if we go back to this and we go to today's stress, I'm going to go down to the immune system and I'm going to utilize a piece called something called Entangled Insights. So when I use Entangled Insights, I'm going to tap on this red line. So I'm actually just tapping on it from my device, just like this. And when I tap on it, very quickly, it goes to another screen, says Entangled Insights. Oh, why did it say blood sugar? I gotta go back. It should have been, what happened there? Immune system, let's try that. And so now we ask the question, says, what's going on with the immune system? Is it related to something? So we're gonna actually use a frequency programmed into the Genius, particularly for Epstein-Barr virus, right there. And so now we're gonna be able to ask a question by checking this little marker right here. We say check, it goes up and down, and it's saying, what is the relationship between your immune system and Epstein-Barr virus? Is there a connection? And it says, yeah, there's a 77% connection. I mean, typically we like to see a little bit higher, so I don't know how important this would be, but I can still add this frequency to my tray, and in the next screen, I'll be able to ask again, is Epstein-Barr significant in this case? Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to be able to, I don't think these are just natural curiosities of a doctor. I think every person who's conscious wants to ask these questions and wants answers. And we don't just want the answer like you have to pay, $375 to see your primary care doctor to get a $1,000 lab test. Like, this is much more practical and something that you can do at home to help yourself. When you discover that there's an issue, you can hit the balancing and then you can clear the issue out of your field. Does it work for every condition that you have? Maybe not immediately, but you can start to gain some ground. You're working on the energetic level of where that imbalance is, meeting it with an equal frequency like homeopathy. So,
And, just a quick question, follow-up question, because this is from a library, right? The EBV that you got.
it's not one of the custom libraries. It's in it's in a stock database that comes with the Genius. So the Genius comes with Entangled Insights, and there's something like over 5,000 items in Entangled Insights that you can test against.
Okay.
And I'd be glad to help you out with that further if you like. We can
Okay.
chat. Okay.
Yeah, and you can also, Karine, you can also ask to have a personal demonstration scan with us. And our website is geniusbiofeedback.com. And right on the website asks, would you like to have a personal demonstration? You can do it there.
Okay.
So yeah, so the reds and the blues are the things that you want to balance. And the reds mean it's more acute. The blues mean it's more deep, it's more chronic, and it's more depleted. So sometimes even your blue items are more significant than your red items. So Liz, does that help?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
It's really important to know because that's like kind of the basis of how you run frequencies. All right, so now she said that she was, some water was an issue. So we may want to go to, these are more of what are called the custom libraries. These do come individually or you can buy them as a set. And so maybe we want to look at things like a hormonal assessment. What's going on? I usually think of progesterone being deficient and causing us to then retain more water. And it could also be related to the cycles of the moon, things like that. Or of course, like the food that we ate, if we ate a lot of salty food, and also could be related to how well our kidneys are working. So we could check that as well. So if we go to hormonal assessment or hormone assessment, we got a lot of libraries on this. So the hormonal disturbance assessment right here. All right, so it actually says melatonin is kind of one of the issues there. And I don't want to go through all of these, but just what I was looking for was the progesterone. So as we age, sort of a women's anti-aging hormone would be considered progesterone. Helps us to have lean muscle, strong metabolism, stay young, feel good. And especially in perimenopause to menopause, it gets lower and lower. And that's why a lot of women take natural progesterone cream. And if you're not taking enough, then it can affect your sleep. You can just sort of not feel as good. And it can cause you to feel like you're bloating, that you're having the weight gain or water retention. So we can put that in the tray and balance it. Here, I'm going to bring it into my lower tray. If we only wanted to focus on that, oh, why is that happening? I meant to bring this one in, not that one. You could do a singular balancing. You could just balance the progesterone on its own. And if you did that, it would look like this. I'm just going to go ahead and balance right here, this one item. So you could just balance that one item, progesterone, try to bring it into balance. Everything is a frequency. We think about in, regular Western medicine, if something is deficient, we want to replace it. So we're going to replace it with the progesterone cream, but this is sort of a higher level of thinking about it. We're going to use the energetics and we're going to balance all aspects of things that might be out of balance around progesterone. There might be multi-layers, that have to do with the progesterone. So you get a lot of that in the Genius where you can do sort of mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to balance the energy of progesterone, and that alone could make a difference. Again, we're taught that everything is physical, right? It's something you can touch. When we start to learn about the universe, we start to learn that things that we thought were solid objects are actually a lot more not matter than matter. They're a lot more energy and space than they are actual physical things. And everything is consciousness, everything is frequency. So you can balance this with a frequency. And this says that Mira did very good in balancing that. So it wouldn't be beyond the impossible to balance the progesterone. And then within an hour, you all of a sudden you notice that you're urinating more because you're no longer holding on to that water. It's starting to release. So that is certainly possible. All right, so that was the hormonal assessment. I'm going to include these items. And then you could also do things like a kidney assessment, although this won't reveal as much, I think, really helpful information. It's fun. You could do the kidney anatomy. You could do a kidney assessment. Oh, there we go. It's saying that there is some edema, which could be, she feels like she's holding water. That is literally edema. And so that's another thing that you could do is you could take this and you could put it up here. And again, you could just balance it for 1 minute and you could just work on the energy of the edema. And it does say kidney stones and kidney gravel. Now, if we asked her, she probably would say, I don't have any kidney issues. And this could be something that is still in the energy field that hasn't become physical, or it could be something that's really subclinical. A lot of people have kidney stones and gallstones and just don't even know that they have it. And so this is a great opportunity to do some prevention and just make sure that it's in your balancing. And we're going to see in the next screen if this comes up as being something significant. There's another screen that can help us to fine tune the conclusions that we want to come to from doing this. So then this is bladder infection. This could be subclinical. One thing I learned from Dr. Bob Marshall down in Austin, Texas, is that a lot of people have infections they don't realize they're chronic. You don't have any symptoms anymore. It happens in the bladder, the kidneys, the brain, other parts of the body. He was always liver. He was always trying to clear those with the different supplements and techniques that he used. So bladder may not be, something we know about. Potassium, kidney, zinc, uric acid, electrolytes. So it's all related to issues with the kidney because we want to find out why is the water, why are we holding on to the water? Now, another thing I really like to do with all my clients is I like to find affirmations for them, bring in the really positive information. So let's go ahead, and I like the one called Breakthrough to Success. Okay, Breakthrough to Success, and I like the supercharged affirmations. So for Mira, one that comes through is, I am richly talented in multidimensional ways, and I accept and engage these talents now, immediately knowing I am ready. And she kind of said that she works in this multidimensional way. I am ready for change. I now see all the miracles flowing into my life. Okay, Mira, are you still with us? Did we lose her over the side somewhere?
Dr. Ariel, can you do all of them? Just dump them all in the tray?
Yep, we can do all of them. I can do all of them.
I'm
We
just
can
curious,
find
yeah.
the most important one. But what I thought was interesting, I don't know if she's not able to tap back in or had to go out or something, that's totally fine. What I notice is change, right? I am ready for change. I accept positive change. And so that could be an overlying theme of the case is maybe change is not like her strong suit. So I always notice that, with clients, like what is the sort of the theme that's coming through. I'm completely healed now. Instantaneous healing is completely possible. I can hold the energy of joy and stay with it. But absolutely, we can take all of these and we can put all the red items into the tray. And we're going to do a rescan to see which of these is the top affirmation for her. We can go down to the bottom here and it says, I become one with the recognition that I'm strong and powerful on every level. I am completely guided and supported with every step I take. I am completely ready to succeed. So we'll take all of those affirmations and you could run them all at the same time. In fact, there's a function right down here, Liz, called the quick balance. And when you tap on the quick balance, for that screen, it automatically balances all the reds and blues that are in front of you. So all these reds and blues of the affirmations at this moment are being balanced for her. I'll go ahead and I'll just stop that just so I can change the timer here. There's a timer for our quick balance tray. See, it says quick balance. This is the timer for that tray. I'm going to set it to 1 minute. You can see the minute 1 right there. And so then you could just balance all these affirmations for a minute.
Can you work on emotional issues as well? If you
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I
That's
think.
how,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Kelly.
I was just gonna say I work on my dad with that every day.
That's great. And then can you do too much? What if I see lots of reds and blues and I throw it all on the tray? I kind of an all or nothing kind of girl. Do you get any Herxheimer effect from that or anything like
We
that?
really don't hear about Herxheimer. What the developer says is that when you're playing more than 100 items into the tray at one time, so if you were playing the frequencies for over 100 items, that there can be the tendency to distort the frequency. So you don't get as precise
Okay.
an effect over 100 items, but we've never really restricted it. Like you can do whatever you want, however you want to practice. We just give you that guidance.
I do that too, Liz, but I don't go over 100. Yeah.
And you may go over 100 like down in the tray here, but you can
Oh,
bring it
right.
into progressive insights and then recheck it. And then among the high items, you may have
I
less
do
than
that.
100.
Yeah, because I'll do
So
300 for the lower tray, usually something where around there, and then just all the highs later, which probably about 100. I don't count them, of course. But
yeah, there
can
should
you
be
explain?
actually a count number on here now that you think about it.
Can you just briefly explain through quantum entanglement why this is affecting Mira, for example, without having to listen to it? I mean,
Well,
you know,
she,
have it in her both, you know, not have it in headphones or something like that, because a lot of people question that.
okay, well, first of all, she can definitely, listen to the tones right on the live
Oh, sure,
Zoom.
sure. But I mean, you
So
know,
yeah.
it doesn't have to
Mhm.
be, yeah, it doesn't
The
necessarily have to.
way the way the coding is done in these quantum biofeedback, it's somehow connected to the Schumann resonance and somehow sort of connects to each person through the coding. These quantum biofeedback programs have the ability to broadcast through subspace directly to the person.
Right.
Now, okay, you might be like, I don't know. How does Reiki work? You use your intention to send the frequency and the healing right to the person. So it's absolutely possible. And I have experienced it in real time. So, you have that person's voice, you have their picture, you have their permission, and you have your own intention, and you're broadcasting those frequencies. So everybody is connected in the quantum universe, and intention is very, very, the power of intention is very high. So if you have your intention and the genius, you are actually broadcasting scalar broadcast to that person for whom it is intended. Over the years, I have run these remote sessions, and people will say to me, was my session that you were doing today at 3:30? Yes, it was. Well, I experienced those frequencies at that time. So it's really quite amazing. And a lot of times we do need to work kind of offline for people that are too busy, that don't want to be in that live session. And it's really nice to be able to work this way. They can just remote their voice and picture to you, and you can work on it, when it's convenient. So the number one affirmation is I accept the highest and most vital experience of health in my body that cosmic law will allow at this time. So one thing Mira is reaching for is even more vitality and more wellness in her life. I become one with the recognition that I am strong and powerful on every level. I accept my power right now. So she's moving into that place of full empowerment. Maybe she'll be leaving her full-time job and moving more into her passion, what she really enjoys doing. Now this is melanin, not melatonin. So it's balancing the melatonin, the melanin that is produced in the body, and lithium. So that's for balancing the brain. Something about the kidney. So it might be time for a good kidney cleanse. You could use the kidney tea that is written about by Andreas Moritz in his book about gallbladder and liver cleansing. He actually writes about this kidney tea you can use to make your kidneys work better. And there's a bunch of other things here. Then I also look at the flower essences, which is sort of like the emotional barometer for the person where they are. And one thing that comes up for her today is heather. So I like this book, Floral Acupuncture, to kind of get some information about the meridian points and also about the flower essence. So let's see. It says here, heather is helpful when you think incessantly about yourself and your problems, you know, when we're trying to heal from something, we do think about ourselves. So if there's something that you're working on physically, you might be in that state. A deeper aspect of this state is to be constantly speaking about your problems to others. You know, that's always a mistake because whatever you focus on increases. A form of mild hysteria, the state can occur when you feel alone in witnessing what appears to be a dysfunctional world. I mean, who among us is not experiencing that?
Yeah.
If this attempt to express to others would fail, you may feel desperate and exiled. A lot of people feel like that. Using Heather effects a release from this aloneness, helping you to see and feel a part of the larger world again. So that's really fun because we don't have a Mira here to check in with, but often when I read that to my client, they'll be like, man, you nailed it. That's exactly what I'm experiencing at this time. And you know, when you bring something to somebody's level of awareness, not only the program, but just that engagement with them causes them to release a lot of that energy. And so that's another way to be successful when you're using this. Now, the Genius has a really cool function called the rescan. And so what it does is it says, if you've balanced these frequencies for 1 minute, then rescan and tell me, based on clearing that energy, what now comes up at the highest level of prioritization. So when I rescan, it says, okay, I was able to clear these energies in the 1 minute of balancing, and now these new energies are the ones that are considered the priority. So kidney gravel, she's definitely got something very likely going on long-term with kidneys. And so that's, you know, kidneys are the seat of the will. Kidneys are related to adrenals. You know, when you're sitting for a lot of time and you're working, sometimes you're just trying to push through. Maybe that accountant is sitting and crunching the numbers. So there's energetically something going on with the kidneys, I'm pretty sure. And then we've got a few flower essences and then an affirmation. I take full responsibility. I am completely ready to succeed. I become one with the recognition I'm strong and powerful on every level. So you're definitely dealing with those issues about power that keeps coming up again. That's another interesting kind of energy that's coming up that we see a theme here. And if you can point out the theme to the person you're working with, like they really feel like you're getting them, you understand them. It's amazing in just a short amount of time, you can kind of really read into these deeper layers about people. So rock water is a core remedy for releasing hardened soul forces so you can flow again with the stream of life. Now that is related to kidney energy because kidneys and water, and she's retaining water, is all about the flow. So she's not going with the flow of life. Some kind of type of flow is blocked. And isn't that interesting that it's being reflected in a couple of different ways with the kidney energy, with the water being retained, with the kidney gravel being shown here, and even with the rock water as a flower essence. So growing up in a harsh environment or being overly sensitive can cause you to form a shell of protection. This hardening may numb your feelings, causing you to be harsh on yourself and others. Rock water lifts the stone barrier that blocks your energy flow so life becomes easy again, and events in your life can transform into new possibilities. Rock water is also useful for breaking up specific issues that feel like a boulder in your path. So it can be really, really helpful. So when you're running the energy of the flower essence, you're getting the solution to the problem. So we might be all of this problems about hardened soul forces, but the rock water is going to break all of that up and free you from that, you know, that place that you were stuck. Do we know what happened to Mira? Did she get booted off the program?
No, she's still here. Well,
Oh, okay.
she's still on Zoom.
Okay, Mira, if you want to share with us if any of this resonates with you or how it's landing with you, you certainly can pop back
Yeah.
on. It also could have been she got a phone call,
And
maybe
she
client
has
call, she
Zoom
got
still
busy.
open, but I don't know if she's present at the
Yeah,
desk.
she might have had to take a call or something. That's
Well-
perfectly fine. We understand. So, but that's how it works. And now in just a moment, we're going to go to the aura and we're going to check the progressed aura, and then we can see if anybody else wants a scan. And then Kelly, did you have any comments or thoughts?
No, I just would love to hear your hear about the weather after we're done. If any,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
great idea.
Mhm.
Okay, so then we go back here and we go all the way back to the aura, hopefully. Keep going. So right here. So then after we've run some frequencies, we can actually go back here and we can, let me see if I can get this. I have to do this in a certain way or I may lose the scan completely. So instead of doing it on my iPad, I'm just going to take a screenshot right here on my computer, like that, before I move into this. Oops, I just need to do it. So now I'm going to do begin analysis and it's going to say the progressed aura. How did the frequencies affect her aura since we started running them? What changes did they make on the energy field?
And also, I do want to comment about the each band of the aura represents a different subtle body. Am I correct about that?
That I don't know. Wow, look at this change, Kelly. Isn't that
Oh,
amazing?
wow. Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what
So
it look like without the avatar, because it looks like she's got some more pinkish in the core there. That's a
yeah, let me
lot.
just take a picture of
Great.
this first. Yeah, absolutely. We'll look at it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So yeah, so all of her vitality, all of her brightness, I think after we cleared off like that I'm not in the flow, I'm kind of holding on to things. After we were able to clear that, then we just got this brilliant, bright energy, which is really related to her true self, who she truly is. So that's that's just something that's so fun. Like this really is like a meditation on the person and getting to be with them in their process, and it's so fun to see the transformation in living color. The picture kind of tells the whole story. If you don't have to know anything about layers or the etheric body or anything, just to know, I mean, who thinks that Mira's field was somehow changed by the work that we were doing?
Yeah, I saw some kind of in her first aura, a little more clogging, a little more stuckness.
And that was really revealed in the frequencies too,
and now
with
I
the
feel
rock
lighter,
water and the kidney
lighter
stones
and
and
more
gravel.
flowy. Yep, and more heart energy and more openness.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with you.
And
I
it feels
totally.
bigger as well. That like the energy
Hmm.
feels like more expanded.
Hmm.
I totally agree with you. It's way more expanded. Yep, it absolutely
Wow.
is. And any of that gray has been sort of well, there's a little bit around here. It's like this bluish, but a lot of it has gone away. Yeah, it's night and day, really. Yeah, it's fun. It's always like this, and it's just so fun to see that change and how much information we're able to get in such a short amount of time is so, so incredible, so fun. So, Kelly, what was your question about the weather?
Oh, you had just mentioned that something about if I'd ever used Genius to help with the weather, and I have used it for home clearing, things like that. But yeah, I'm not sure what panels or what you use to work.
Okay, let's look at that. Did this most recent, was there anything, were there tornadoes or anything in this most recent weather thing?
Well, there was west of here, and I think in like Missouri, Western Tennessee, Illinois area, and that cell is still going through. Um, it's like headed. It's North Carolina now, I think.
So what we could do is, I'm trying to think of which libraries there are. Western Tennessee, I really don't know how to spell that. Western Tennessee tornadoes, or it could be the name of a particular hurricane. So you just put that in there, and when then you just put the day that it's like today's date, or the day that it started, or the hurricane, the day that it originated. So, um, I'm, is this answering your question at all?
Okay, yeah. Now, yeah, it makes sense.
And then also, if you have the information, like, let me just see if I can open a browser in a minute here. So then any pictures that there are, online of the particular weather pattern, then you can put that as the picture, which is fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
I'll just see if there are any. And I think that a lot of the avoidance of major disasters is because I think energy healers that maybe aren't
Mhm.
using the genius, but monks or people who are praying all the time, or just energy healers, like uh they have for eons be helping us by moving
Mhm.
the weather through their intention. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I think divine intervention is the only reason we're still here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people's thoughts and intentions.
Hmm.
So usually it'd be like a picture of the tornado or something like that. I mean, this could be one thing that you're using. So you're just looking for a representation. And so then you continue with the new analysis and then just skip this. You can use your voice if you want to,
Hmm.
but you just like sort of focus for a minute and then you get the intention, and you just would, let's see, record here.
And type in as well. Type in something as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna take a picture too, but
Sure.
let me re-record. So hang on one second. Okay. So it's my intention that my voice represent the energy of the tornado in Tennessee for evaluation, so we can help to heal the land and heal the weather and harmonize and assist people, AEIOU. So you can use your voice as a surrogate through your intention. And then we go to you can even say, may my personal information, ideas, imbalances be removed. You could say something like that while you're doing it to act as a surrogate. And then you just take a picture of that particular thing, or the earth or the land or something like that. Sometimes it doesn't let me take the picture. Really weird. So then we're going to use that photo. Done. And it doesn't have to be the exact, picture can be sort of an approximation like that. You can work on the entire planet just by, finding Mother Gaia pictures, planet Earth, things like that. You could put in an affirmation here. May all beings, takes a long time on here, beings be protected. This is a really, and to do this work, that's a really high order of work, your intention, and then working on the weather like this. So if you do this, a lot of good things will come to you because you're doing such good work on the planet to help people, and it has such far-reaching, wonderful effects. So then what you're thinking about is, what can I use to help with the tornado? So you could use like Bach flower essences, you could use solfeggios.
Yeah.
We do, and you can run any of those to just help harmonize, to help reduce, to help to, people to be safe, all of those things. We do have some weather libraries. I'm just trying to remember what they are. We have one for a hurricane. We have some for chemtrails, like, because you have the
Cool.
ability to clear chemtrails over your head or in your environment. You can do it even through your intention. But
Hmm.
you could also do it through working with the genius. So I'm just trying to remember what we have here. That was not, so we don't have a general weather one. But let me just see. I know we have hurricane. So hurricane harmonization. So yeah, we had created this panel all about different things that, to protect people. We could do one for tornadoes too, but all types of energy to help to heal. We did one for wildfires. So you can come up with your own ideas for what what are the elements of a tornado, and what do we want to do? Do we want to redirect it? There's one for wildfire harmonizing. Of course, every weather, thing that happens is a representation of something inside of us, or our global consciousness being out of balance in some way. So Bach flower essences are really great to run for any particular weather. And it's sort of looking at the what the hurricane is representing to our global consciousness. And I would put those, I would put those into the Progressive Insights, and then do Progressive Insights run on the highs and the lows, the reds and the blues. And it's saying water violet. That's kind of interesting. We'll read that one in a moment. But gorse is like feeling hopeless. Red chestnut is worrying about, it's like anxiety about other people. So that would make sense for the tornado. Any thoughts or?
No, it didn't make sense to me. Anybody else?
I mean, the fun thing about the Genius is that it's so dynamic that it can have so many uses. You can use it for your animals. You use it for the weather. You could use it for home clearing. We have a home clearing libraries for specific things within the home and clearing the energy. So, yeah. Gorse is used when you feel hopeless and you're unable to envision a way out of a situation, you know. I mean, I've never been in a tornado, but it must be terrifying. And I know people have to leave their phones on at night to see if you get any type of a warning at night.
I've been in a few.
Oh,
Probably,
really?
yeah, probably 4. And I've chased them too. I used to have dreams of them constantly, but I dreamt. The crazy thing is, it's like I would dream that I created the tornadoes, that I was creating them out of like vortices of the earth, and then I would send them on the way, which was kind of trippy. That was a recurring dream for many, many years, that I was like creating these little tornadoes and just sending them off, which I need to kind of psychoanalyze that.
No, it has so many layers of meaning, you know, tornado. Think about what a tornado does and comes in, and it's got all that swirling vortex energy, and then just kind of whips through, clears things out. I don't know. There's probably a lot of meaning to that.
Yeah. But I was into storm chasing too, actually. But I did play with that a lot as I grew older and understood that thought creates reality and energy follows thought. So I'd even work with certain people when I was say living in Mount Shasta and some of these other places where things are just very, very different energetically. And we would clear things away. You could play with the clouds, you know, and clear. And I helped clear chemtrails a few times too, and using orgonite.
Yeah, orgonite is really they have those, and also like they have those spirals by that gentleman Sperling, and there's like the cloud busters that. Yeah.
I haven't used any of his products, but my friends used to make them.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Thanks,
Well, are
Mark.
there any other questions? What we're going to do is again invite people to download the 14-day trial. So how do we want to do that today?
Yeah, if they want to go ahead and do that right now, we could just leave the leave the I don't know, we could do it through
Do you
chat.
want to just put their email into the chat, and I'll pick it up from here?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so if you want to download that, just put your email in there. And Liz had expressed some interest at one point.
I will give you my email, Dr. Errol. I want to start the 14 days when I can pay attention and try it. I'm a little bit.
Sure.
So I'm thinking of waiting until the 1st of June, but I'll put my email in the chat for you, by all means.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
It's just oops.
I know what it's like when you're that busy.
I feel like if I do it now, I won't even be able to look at what's going on.
I totally understand. And oh yeah, that's great. And also we'll be offering each person, we'll be sending you an offer if you want to sign up, and then just meet with one of our staff where they'll do a personal scan for you, and there's no cost to that, and you can find out some information what they're seeing for you, and then you can also ask a lot of questions. So thank you to Iwana, who has said that she wants the trial. Thank you so much. We'll definitely be in touch, and Liz as well. And any other questions? Does anybody have any questions about how it works, what it does, anything like that? I guess for people who are also watching the recording, we are having a special $700 bonus, our anti-aging bundle. It includes a lot of really cool frequencies about stem cells, telomeres, DNA, the chromosomes, and you'll get that additional bundle if you get your, let's just say if you get it for the month of May, you can get it, give everybody a little bit more time.
Yeah, I think I can do it for the month of May.
Oh, good.
Cool. And of course,
So
you
yeah,
got me, you know.
Oh, I got you, Kelly. I got you.
You
Yeah,
got
I'm
me.
driving to Tennessee. Not really. Oh,
No,
I'm
please
coming your way,
do.
bro.
My bad boy, I need company.
I just want to remind everybody that it does work on any type of smartphone. So any Android, it definitely will work on, no problem. Does not have to be Apple whatsoever. And it's called the Genius Biofeedback System. You can read more also at geniusbiofeedback.com. And I'll just go ahead and put the website on here. And you can also reach me that way through our chat. You can open up a chat and we'll be in touch. And then I think, Kelly, it's a good idea, as much as it works, maybe every month or 6 weeks, if I drop in and do a few scans with people,
That'd be
I'd
great.
love to just keep the energy going and just keep sharing more about it. People ask different questions and they get to learn about it. And it's really just fun to visit with people. And I feel like it's relaxing just to hang out and do some scans,
hmm Yes, it's great. I appreciate everybody for showing up and everybody who's going to be listening in.
Hey, Mira, we kind of lost you for a little bit. Was any of
Yeah,
that,
where'd you go?
how did that information land with you?
Yeah, I apologize. I received a phone call and I had to take it.
No worries.
It was interesting. The part that I did hear, it was interesting and quite accurate. So I will listen to the recording. Um do I need to give my email to receive the recording, or will it be posted?
It'll be posted on CHWE
Yeah, we'll
chat.
post that, but if you would like the 14-day trial, please leave your email for Ariel,
And
and
there's
she can.
no obligation for it. The 14-day trial just means that you
Right.
try it for 14 days and there's no credit card required and you can get a free
Right.
demonstration for doing that. Mira, did you see your ending aura? We thought you might be on a phone call, so we totally understood. So
I
I'll just,
didn't see the ending. I didn't
oh,
see the ending.
I don't know why this just like got, let me just try to go here, zoom in, zoom out, tools, rotate to the right. Let me just bring in the original aura. So this was your, what is going on here? Being very, very finicky here. Let me just make the genius go away for a minute here. There we go. Okay, that was the first aura when we took your initial scan. Now, after we ran maybe 5 minutes of frequencies for you, and a lot of it was around sort of kidney stuff, adrenals, and sort of reestablishing your kind of going with the flow of life and just sort of releasing, surrendering. And then after we ran those frequencies, this was your aura. Isn't that amazing? Look how much light. This is the real you coming through, I think.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I think you'll enjoy seeing, I think you really enjoy seeing the recording and seeing what we discovered. So thank you so much for being part of our class today.
Thank you. And I feel so bad. I apologize for having to
We
take this phone
understand.
call.
We told, that's exactly what we said. So I bet she got a phone call and we just continued on so you can watch it on the recording.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks for
And
being
Kelly,
here.
thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and spend time
No,
with
of
your
course,
tribe here.
absolutely. We love having you. It's great.
Thank you. And thank you, Liz.
Welcome.
Anybody else have any questions?
Well,
Or-
what I found interesting as well is when you saw her first aura, you were asking question about her if she was doing some creative stuff and stuff like that. And I was wondering, like, do you have like what you based on how do you analyze the auras? Do you have like a tutorial for that, or?
We do. We can definitely share it with you.
and
What I'll do
it's
is
on,
I'll share some of those with Kelly so that he can put them into the Telegram
Mhm.
group.
Yeah.
and
But this is really,
she has that hour-long video on YouTube as well.
I watched it. It's really good. I learned a lot.
Yeah,
The hour-long video on the chakras. I did, Ariel.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
thank you so much, Liz. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, and very, very easy is the chakras. the colors related to the chakras. So that orange is related to the second chakra, and the second chakra is all about creativity and, being really sort of, having art in your life or being really creative in your work in some way. And so that really came shining through for Mira, in that first aura.
Great.
And I can send you the link, Karine, if you like, for her.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, send it.
definitely.
Yeah, feel free to
Yeah,
send
because
it.
I thought it was really interesting, and it really just felt it. I thought it was really like very as a practitioner, it's really useful that you can do that, and really like it really helps. I find that it's a really great plus, like for a consultation.
To be able to show where they've gone to, where they came from and where they've gone to.
Mhm.
It's like, here are the results, right?
Yeah, right. But yeah, but also just to interact with the person and really connect and I don't know, it's added bonus so that the person can reflect on her life and where is it like that she really maybe need to orient herself.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's really awesome. All right, Kelly, thank you
Anybody else
again.
have comments or questions before we go? I've learned a lot today, so
I
that's
sure
great.
did.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Liz. I appreciate your using your account.
Oh, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, but I can only do 40 minutes on mine.
I
So,
pay $15 for the hour
yeah,
a
yeah,
month.
appreciate that.
It's all good. It is all good. I like to learn. I
Yeah,
think I'm
thanks.
going to start this after Memorial Day. I'll probably be able to start this after Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good
Cool.
time to do it.
Life is pretty jammed, delightfully so, but just pretty
Yeah,
jammed.
yeah, thankfully, that's always good.
No, like lots of
Less
things are
problems of
happening, but I feel
abundance.
like if I did it now, I'd be like, I wouldn't even have a chance to look at it. That's why I haven't done it yet,
Yeah,
Kelly.
definitely. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
It's just if I can just say my opinion about that device is amazing, and myself, I working with the machine, not like like you have, Ariel, but mine is working on the meridians. When you give your hand and you put that special pen, and then you have the pregnancy, you set up, and then you can check on the computer where you have the problem in your body, like the bacteria, viruses, similar things. But here is much easier. Here you have your voice, which is much better. And also I used to working on the machine called Healy. I don't know,
Mhm.
some of you hear that. So that look for me very similar, because of over there you set up the pregnancy, but minus for that machine was you have
Mhm.
to give directly to the person to hold it all the time, like you
Mhm.
start be used to for the device with you. So that is for me big minus, but here is
Mhm.
much better. So definitely um I will think forward on that to use the as a tool to my clients who actually need help. And I also doing the EFT therapist, so that is amazing if I can easy go with my clients before the session and say, all right, we can work on this and that emotions. So yeah, I love it. I'm thank you, I'm very happy I'm with you today here, so
That's
thank you
great.
so much.
I'm so glad that you tuned in. And I think what you're talking about is the biomeridian or electroacupuncture according to Vol.
Is it a
Mm.
compass? Did
Yeah, that
compass
second
make
one is the second one. Yes, is the second one. Yes, is the machine called Salvia, and
okay.
you can yeah, it is like electroacupuncture. You just press on the point on your hand, and
Mhm.
then you find the meridian, and over there you can easy check everything. So yeah,
And
I
that's
prefer
wonderful.
this.
And you could even use them together. You could combine them
Mhm.
Yeah,
for an even better and richer reading for your client. And when they're in another country or another area, you can go to the Genius because you don't have the ability to touch them in person, but you have the ability to scan them from anywhere. And this worked really well for our practitioners during the pandemic. some of our practitioners really thrive because other people closed their offices down because they only had physical offices, but ours had the ability to work with everybody from anywhere. So even if people were on lockdown, they just turned on their Zoom and did sessions with them.
Yeah, that's amazing. And also I can work on the piece of hair when you have the hair from the whole body. So someone can send me special the small children when they cannot sit. So
Right.
so yeah, but that is amazing. I really look forward to try for 14 dance and
Please do. Excellent.
move that. Thank
We
you
look
so
forward
much.
to it. Yeah, thank
There is
you.
also, do you want to talk about the plate for a second? The Ariel, there is an energy plate that goes along with the Genius too that can.
Let me see if I can, if you want to talk to your use of it, I'll jump off here for a moment and just go grab one.
Well, I don't actually have the energy plate, but I've used them in other biofeedback devices before because you can scan your supplements, or you can actually then charge. You put water, you could put the frequencies that you have, you know, for the balancing in the water, and create your own homeopathics. You can put the frequencies in even, you know, crystals and pieces of jewelry, things like that. A lot of people are actually selling those kind of things.
Yeah, this is one
Yeah,
of the
there's
plates. It actually sort of like this. It comes with a wire that you connect to the Genius. And so you can place your supplements on here
Mhm.
and you can digitally import them into your Genius database. And you could also put water on here and you could charge up water or gemstones or other supplements or essential oils, and it'll just sit right on the plate. And again, the plate will be connected to a wire to your iPad or your iPhone. And it's really fun. This is 3 layers of sacred geometry. This is our triple layer remedy plate. And just to be able to make, you know, water remedies, or we use bands as well. We have these hologram wristbands. And so you charge the frequencies into the bands, and people will make these bands for their clients. And so then the client wears the band with all the frequencies imprinted. And that's amazing. And some people have had like really bad chronic pain, and they put the bands on and the pain is gone within an hour. And they're just absolutely amazed because, you know, frequency changes things.
A whole side business could be created with using the plate. Yeah.
That really looks like it's connecting to radionics, which is what I do, radionics on the side. And it looks like a lot of the radionics work have these plates and charging plates where you can actually put medicines, you know, I would say right into the water, or you can charge plates for manifestation, basically.
It's very similar
There's
to
some
radionics.
overlap, except I see much more detail with the Genius biofeedback.
Definitely. We're all swimming in the same,
We're all
same pond here.
and
Yeah.
heck, you know, I do candle work too. Candle work also plays with frequencies. Everything's frequencies. There's a lot of ways to play with frequencies, but I've loved learning about this one. Everybody, you have been wonderful. You're all beautiful people. We love you all so much.
Mirror, mirror.
Thank you.
Ha 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 ha. Ditto, 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 kiddo. Yeah. Well, if we're complete, I will stop the recording, and we don't have to, but I'd like to try to keep the calls a little under, because then they load up to. I'll be sending this to you, Kelly. I'll let you play with it and then post it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it out to everybody.
Please do.
We've got the yeah, I'll make sure. Is everybody here on Telegram? Because we'll definitely send it out on the Center for Health and Wellness site, as well as the UNN site and Restoration Vibration, all that. But we can send it to your email as well if you want. I can.
Right. Put it in the chat if you do.
Just let me know if you need
to
that.
Kelly as well. Yeah, I'm going to send the chat to Kelly as well. So put your
Okay,
email in.
cool.
We'll have your emails.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dr.
so
Ariel. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Learning so
appreciate it.
much.
Take care.
The new
Take care.
earth.
Have a
Take
great
care,
night.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.